Mr. Tucker!
There you are. So you are home.
Yes. I did it, boys. I finally did it. A chimera that understands human speech. Here, let me show you. Listen to me. That person over there, that's Edward.
That person, Edward.
Shout out to the worst dad in anime history. Fullmetal Alchemist is a series that allows humans to gain incredible power through alchemy. It's one of those things that allows people in that universe to be superhuman. Most of the show seems to be driven off of science though. But what happens when that science tries to play God? In my last Fullmetal Alchemist video, we explored how Father Cornello used religion to manipulate people to do his bidding, which most likely, if you saw that episode and you hate religion and you just adhere to science, you were probably happy that Fullmetal Alchemist seemed to take a jab at it. But not so fast, bucko. You science people don't get it past either. I'm just kidding, but not really. Science is a great tool. Science has helped us discover things about our world and the universe that has helped to better civilization. It's helped us in medicine, architecture, how to brew a great cup of coffee for the morning. But sometimes, science seems to overreach its bounds. Well, not science. The people who believe that science is the end-all be-all for human flourishing. Which brings us to the most hated character in all of anime. Sho Tucker is a character we meet in episode 4 in Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. When the Elric brothers get wind that Tucker might be able to help them to get their bodies back, Tucker gained infamy as an alchemist because he was able to produce a chimera that was able to talk in order for him to keep his alchemist license. How he did this wasn't noticed until he produced another chimera, but this time the Elric brothers caught on. Notice that Nina, Tucker's daughter, and Alexander, the family dog whom the brothers became great friends with, were missing. And they come to find out Nina and Alexander are the chimera. So sick. Probably one of the saddest anime moments in history. Sho Tucker is one of the examples in Fullmetal Alchemist when human beings try to play God. One of the things that Tucker says while Edward is confronting him is that mankind's progress has been the result of countless human experiments. Tucker's words reveal a dangerous belief that human progress justifies any sacrifice, no matter how cruel. It's the idea that as long as science advances, the cost doesn't matter. That as long as there is progress, then it doesn't matter who gets hurt or how many innocent people are taken advantage of. It's all for the good of mankind, causing people that use science to play the role of God. I wish that this was just an anime Fullmetal Alchemist problem. But Tucker isn't alone in this mindset. We've seen people throughout our history justify horrible actions in the name of scientific progress. Events like Unit 731, where the Japanese Imperial Army in World War II would run chemical and biological experiments on people, claiming the lives of around 14,000 victims. The Tuskegee syphilis study, where the U.S. injected over 400 African American men with syphilis to see what it would do untreated without the informed consent from the participants. Infamous, wild Nazi experiments that they did in Nazi Germany. They all did this for the sake of human progress. Does that mean science itself is bad? No. Just like religion, science is a tool, and like any tool, it depends on what the hands that wield it do with it. Tucker convinced himself in his mind that as long as he has the power of science and alchemy to make the impossible possible, the human life, and in this case the lives of his wife, child, and dog, don't matter because it's for the sake of humanity's good. Science is great, but in the hands of evil men, just like religion, full of pride, greed, and ego, it can be a terrible weapon turned on the one that's supposed to benefit, which in a way doesn't make science and religion too different. Like we said before, science is a good thing. It's contributed to medicine and surgery and electricity and even AI. But if the only way for science to be of any good to anyone is to sacrifice human beings it's supposed to benefit, then the person using science is a little off. In a Christian perspective, God has created everything in the entire world, starting at Genesis 1. We see that God spoke and everything came into being. Our universe, plants, animals, a suitable environment for human beings to live and populate. In Genesis 1:28, God gives command for humans to populate the earth and subdue it. to work and cultivate the world that God has given them to steward. Meaning, God created all the materials and the things here needed for humanity to develop the world and flourish. God could have just given us everything from the very jump. But because God allows humanity to partner with him, we created invention after invention, used science to develop the world because that's what God in the beginning called us to do. But because of sin, we decided we didn't want God and wanted to do our own thing. We do what's right in our own eyes for the sake of humanity's good. And because of these things, God has every right to separate us from himself. But he didn't. He actually sent his son, Jesus, to live the perfect life we cannot live, die the death on our behalf, then rise from the dead 3 days later so that we could be reconciled and in the right relationship with a holy God. And it's only through that relationship with God, through Jesus, that we can see the world rightly and see science in its proper place. Not a tool for humans to be God, but a tool subjected to the God of the universe so that humans can use it to praise and honor of God's glory and the betterment of the world around them. Tucker is a warning, a reminder of what happens when science or anything really becomes an idol. When we put knowledge, power, or progress above human life, we don't just play God, we become monsters. Thanks for watching this video. This is a part of an ongoing series I'm doing with Fullmetal Alchemist, which has been a long time coming for me. If you like Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, check out my last video I did on Father Cornello. Like, subscribe, and all the things.